Hello there folks. For the regular viewer here, you may recall I recently posted a video of Mike Parry complaining of European Union vindictiveness because he now has to stand in a different queue to EU or Schengen area passengers at airports within the European Union. The main feedback I received on that video, other than of course how unbelievably sexy Mike is, was how he's a complete idiot. Well, if you thought that was bad, get a load of this. Appearing on GB News with Mark Dolan, Parry was asked for his take on how Brexit is going 7 years following the referendum, and naturally, he had plenty to say. Before I play this, however, I would just like to state, as a big fan of Balls of Steel, how disappointed I am to see Mark Dolan floundering in the GB News cesspit. I appreciate he has been at this gig for quite some time, but it's still rather sad to see what an awful individual he has become. Also, I'd like to thank the commenter on the previous Mike Parry video who brought it to my attention that both Super Gammon Mike Parry here and Concrete Farmer Mike Graham supported remaining in the European Union and both voted that way. Apparently they were on air together on TalkSport on the day of the referendum. This just goes to show the power of the Brexit gravy train. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Can't wait to hear Emma Burnell's thoughts, but Mike Porky Parry, your thoughts, your verdict, Brexit 7 years on.
Yeah, no, you say 7 years on, but that's since the vote. But in fact, it was only ratified on the first day of 2021. So politicians have had less than 3 years to actually get stuck in to what they should do. Remember, we've had the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. We've had the pandemic. So politicians are obviously concerned with issues which are going to smack us all in the face, whereas Brexit is going to be a long-term project. I don't think we'll see the benefits of Brexit for another 10 years, but I'm very impressed about what we've already got done. You mentioned some trade deals there. What about the Trans-Pacific rail deal, okay?
Correct.
Trade, I've not railed it. Trade deal, the Trans-Pacific trade deal.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
TPP, which I thought was a cocktail.
Yeah, exactly. But the Trans-Pacific one means... No, the Trans-Pacific partnership...
tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm suffering with hay fever, by the way, which makes me look a bit stupid, but I'm not really.
Poor Mike Parry, one of the few people to suffer from hay fever all year round.
It's not possible for you to look stupid.
No. Anyway, the Trans-Pacific Partnership means that we've now got access to the biggest trading bloc in the world. And let's face it, where is the world expanding? It's in the Pacific regions, okay? And the Pacific regions go as far as touching China and Southeast Asia and all that kind of stuff. What I really dislike is the vindictiveness with which the Europeans have met the democratic decision of the British people to get out of Europe. So, for instance, it's an utter disgrace. People say Brexit isn't working. One of the reasons they're trying not to make it work is the Europeans don't want any other country to suddenly opt out of their mass socialist bloc where everybody's got to be equal. Greece has got to be equal to Germany. What a load of rubbish. That just means Germans get richer and people in Greece get poorer. So because they don't want anybody else to come out, and there are other countries, including Italy, under their new ruler, very able lady, right? You were thinking about, do we need to be... So,
do we what? Do we need to... Blah, blah, blah? Does anyone know what do we need to... Blah, 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 blah means? Let's just play that again.
Ruler, very able lady, right? You were thinking about, do we need to be... So,
do we need to... Blah, blah, blah? Okay, interesting. Good question. Real good question. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you, Mike. But a couple of things to pick up in that truly appalling and misleading sentence. Firstly, he doesn't know the name of the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni. He calls her Italy's ruler. Ruler. Can you believe that? Italy's ruler. Fascist stuff. Real fascist stuff coming out of Mike's mouth there. Also, he's misleading the viewers on the position of Giorgia Meloni's political party, Brothers of Italy. Because they were once in favour of leaving the European Union, but now they're not. They're now in favour of reforming it from within, which really speaks volumes of the United Kingdom, because even if a right-wing to far-right political party like Brothers of Italy wish to remain within the European Union, and the likes of Mike Parry do not, I mean, where does that put him on the political spectrum? But let's just have one more listen to him asking that very pertinent question.
Ruler, very able lady, right? You were thinking about, do we need to be...
Yeah. I'll have to get back to you, Mike. I'm not entirely sure. In fact, I'll put it to my audience. In the comments, please, if you know whether, do we want to... Blah, 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 please let me know, and I'll pass it on to Mike.
So they want to make it as bad for us as possible. So they put all sorts of red tape in the way. Whereas they should have a friendly trading agreement with us, because remember, Mercedes-Benz still want to sell a lot of their cars
Correct.
in the United Kingdom, where we've got more billionaires than anybody else in Europe, okay?
That's not a good thing that we have the most billionaires in Europe. That's a very bad sign of wealth inequality. I think we've got about 160 billionaires, something like that. So let's say they all buy 3 Mercedes-Benz cars each. That's 480 sales for Mercedes-Benz. Oh, wow, great. Fantastic. Superb. I mean, what is he talking about? Believe it or not, Mike, car sales to non-billionaires outnumber car sales to billionaires. Believe it or not. Shocking, isn't it? Shocking. Who knew?
Still have the deficit where we buy more from them than they buy from us.
Absolutely.
We are the customer, Mike Porky Parry.
Yeah.
Clock's against us, but Emma... That means it'll be happening next
Keir
year.
Starmer wants to be a slave to the Europeans now. He wants to be a slave. He wants to go back and apologise for those 17.4 million stupid people who voted to leave Europe.
You're the only one calling these people stupid.
I'm not.
I'm not
No, I'm
calling
not.
them stupid at all.
No, I'm not.
You are using ridiculous
Excuse me.
You want to be a slave. Nobody wants to be a slave.
Emma, one very senior...
Let's not do that.
Hang on.
Let's actually have a decent conversation about the benefits
Well, I'll tell you
and
a
the
fact.
ways that we can make this work and how we all work together,
All right.
pull in the same
All right.
direction in
Okay.
a country which has now left.
Asking Mike Parry to engage in a decent conversation about anything, I would compare to shoving your head into the mouth of a hungry lion and asking it not to bite.
I will tell you a fact. A very senior person in the Labour Party movement for decades now, when I said to him, why won't you respect the democratic vote of the 17.4 million who voted to come out? Do you know what he said? He said they didn't know what they were voting for. They've always regarded the people who voted for Brexit.
One Remainer says something stupid and you think everyone thinks everyone's an idiot. That's not how we're going to make this work.
OK, well, look, a constructive approach from Emma Burnell. What's your reaction? Brexit 7 years...
I mean, by now, it's fairly evident people didn't know what they were voting for. If you watched that Question Time special last week, the Brexit Question Time special with the audience comprised entirely of Leave voters, and you're going to tell me these people knew what they were voting for? Oh, Jesus. Oh, spare me. But I hope you enjoyed Mike Parry's return to my channel. I know you've all missed him. I mean, what a gobshite. And you know what really makes me sick to my stomach? And why I will never stop crying out for a second referendum? There are new lies coming out of their mouths every single day. So why should we put up with this? You'd think by now if it was a roaring success they wouldn't have to resort to telling more porkies. But they do. So why the hell should we give up on rejoining? Anyway. Alright. Cheers for watching. Take care of yourselves.